I started teaching when I was 21. I actually went to college and I just wanted to explore. I wanted to be anywhere other than the small town that my parents lived, moved to out of New York City. And so I wanted to be anywhere other than that small town. I wanted to see the world. I wanted to experience it. So my first goal was to apply to be an ambassador. And I was involved in a pretty horrific car accident, and I couldn't turn my neck for a couple of months. I couldn't even lift my arm to put mascara on. So I thought, well, that's probably not going to work because I need to be able to explain to the doctor in my own language what's wrong with me so that I can get better. So I started that road to recovery, and like 6 months into it, my mom said, well, my mom's a teacher, and she said, you're so good with kids, why don't you apply to be a sub? Why don't you start substituting? And I was like, Mom. And I was like, oh, no, no, no. So I did it just because it was right after 9/11. There were no jobs, really. And I was bilingual, I knew Spanish, and I had majored in Spanish and International Studies. So I said, okay. So I went into the local school district, and there was a woman who had been teaching for 17 years and decided in January to apply randomly after 17 years in the same, continuously in the same district, to apply for a job in Westchester, and she got it. And so January 17th, so she moved down to Westchester, and random, and I was coming out of my undergrad program in January and December, and the district that I went into sub in was like, we have an opening, and it could be a seamless transition. Why don't you work with her? And I was like, okay. And I'm thinking to myself, I do not want this job. So she was my mentor for 2 weeks. She left, and they gave me this class of students that I thought were horrific, that did not want to learn. I was with them until the end of the year, and then I decided the school appointed me as a full-time, tenure track position. I said, I can do this. I was like, they are not going to get the best of me. I was like, they're not winning. So I came back for the next year, and by the end of the year, I said, if I don't leave now, I will never leave because, wow, this is like emotional. I felt like I had a place within the community. I felt like, ooh, this is really crazy. When I had gone to a car wash, and we were just raising money for the graduating class to go on a trip, and I remember walking in, and like all the kids stopped, and these are like problem kids from really not good homelands and low economic sociostatus, and they just were like, Ms. Formato, and they stopped, and it wasn't like a friendly thing, it was like a respect thing, and that changed my life. So I applied for a MA combined PhD program at SUNY Albany. I really wanted, for a long time I wanted to be a professor, so I went into this, literature program, combined program at a 4.0 GPA, and literally after a month, I knew it when I got up there, but after a month I was like, I felt almost like a nobody, like I missed my place, I missed my kids, I missed the community, and I worried about them, and I thought about them, and I was like, okay, so that's what I need to do. So I called SUNY New Paltz, I looked into their programs online, and I applied for their teaching program in ESL, and then I went back full-time for that. I got an English certification from all my graduate credits from SUNY Albany. I started teaching in New Paltz at an elementary program for Spanish, and then after they were going through budget cuts, and I said, this probably isn't a very safe thing, maybe I should kind of segue to another district, and I picked Poughkeepsie because the students were very similar to the students I had originally. And it's really funny because this past summer I went to a concert at Bethel Woods, and I ran into some of my old students, and I didn't, not that I didn't recognize them, but I have tunnel vision, and I was walking through the parking lot, and they're like, Ms. Formato, and there were like 5 or 6 of them, and one was a cop, and one was a firefighter, and some of them are in grad school, and it was amazing seeing them grown up, and one of them, Melissa, had said to me, and I'll never forget, she's like, you were my favorite Spanish teacher, and they were all like, yeah, and I was like, I was so hard on you, I was like harsh, I was really not nice, and I was like, how the heck was I your favorite teacher? And just seeing that, that was nice, that was really nice. So someday I would like to be a college professor, but I think I'm not done yet with education, so I keep coming back. which is what I ask my students to do every day. So it's fair.